Okay, today be doing a video about some products from Moto Werks. It's M-O-T-O, then that's one word, and then W-E-R-K. He has a website. It's www.motowerk.com. He makes a lot of parts for the Kawasaki Versys. He also makes a few parts for like the Honda NC700 and a couple, I think, CB500s and a few other bikes, Z1000 and stuff like that. But he goes by Speedy. He was a forum member because he had a Kawasaki Versys 650, and that's how I heard about him when I was on the Kawasaki Versys forum. They didn't have 650s in the States. I had my 09 I bought in 2010, and so after looking at the forum, you know, getting ideas to do on the bike, because when I first got the bike, it was just uncomfortable because I got a bad hip and a bad knees, two bad knees now because I got in a car wreck since I've been out here. So needed something for extra room. So he had foot peg lowering blocks. He had mirror extenders because it couldn't see shit but my shoulders out of the mirrors. And later he came out with some handlebar risers, then some anti-vibrating handlebar risers, because the old 650 was a twin, so it a parallel twin, so it vibrated a lot. And he has other products too. I got the lowering link because with my bad hip, I was having a hard time getting my leg over with the aftermarket seat I had, so I bought the lowering link, and that really did a great job as far as being able to get my leg over. The suspension worked great. Handling was, I think, even better once I lowered it. Lowered the front end. I left the front end alone because I lowered it at first and brought it back. But getting off track, he has a lot of products. I put several on, so I'm going to review them here today. Got a pair of the handlebar risers, which raises it an inch. Might be a little bit more, but I believe it's an inch. Also got the foot peg lowering blocks, which lowers the foot pegs by 1.3 inches. Got the brake lever nut for the lowering pegs, so you can adjust your brake lever better. I didn't get that when I did the 09. I got it with this. Also got the Moto Werks highway peg mounts, which I had those on my 650 when I had it. And so when I got this bike, I knew I was going to get those too, because I have to be able to stretch my legs out every once in a while because, like I say, I'm old. I got arthritis in my hips and knees because of the football injuries and wrecks and martial arts for, you know, so many years. So, you know, just a lot of damage and old, you know, just fat old guy. But guy makes quality products. I mean, the fit and finish on them are fantastic. I was looking at where he has these parts anodized, and you can tell he doesn't go cheap on it. I've seen other parts from places that were anodized, and just, you know, you could tell they were done as cheap as possible. But this stuff is really good quality. I also got the standard flat foot, and I'm going to review each of these separately, except for the brake lever nut and the lowering pegs. I'll review those together. So you'll hear this part on all 4 different videos. So, okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Okay, on this review, we're going to be going over the Moto Werks highway peg mounts. Like I say, I had a pair of these when Speedy first came out with them on my 650. Knew I wanted to get it with this. The only issue I thought I might have was I bought these T-Rex frame sliders, and so I didn't know if they were going to get in the way. So put them on. Very simple. I mean, it went on straightforward, and I kind of like it. I got it in this position. It really works good for me. So it kind of looks like it's all one unit. If you're going to, well, I'll get that later. But very simple. This side goes on real easy. You just put it back on, put it here, line it up, and then your mount, which we can't see too good with a slider, but there's like a little clock face in here. Looks kind of like a dial, and it's got a bunch of pinholes, and there's a pin. So you can put this thing in 90 different angles. So for however you want your foot, you can bring it all the way up here, you can bring it back here, whatever you want to do. Again, nice black anodized, and these look really good. It's a shame that they're hidden because the craftsmanship on it is second to none, I think. So let me go to the other side. Again, like I said, I think they look super good and even go well with the frame sliders. Now if you're going to be putting these on, a little trick, if you have the T-Rex frame sliders or want to get the frame sliders, you're going to have to put this mount on before you put the slider on, because this back plate has to go up here to the front, so it gets in, then it comes back, because there's not a whole much of no wiggle room there. So you just go ahead and put this on, snug it up if you want to. I went ahead and lined it up, got it straight exactly the way I wanted it, so where the pegs looked even. And then on these frame sliders too, the bolt on the right hand side is 10 millimeters. I think it's 10 millimeters longer, so make sure you get the right bolt. And there's a metal bar that the bolt goes through. Then it has this little plastic bumper up here, which goes against this little guard. Okay, but if you don't take a crescent wrench, because this doesn't come on it comes on last, but take your put your bolt in. When you start tightening it down, take a crescent wrench and hold this straight. There's a flat side on both on the bar. Hold it with a crescent wrench and then tighten the bolt down, because if you don't, it'll be cockeyed when you put this on, because I first did it said Versys going down that way. So once you get this on, I already had this tightened up, and I slid this piece on, and it just almost touches. So this one, the right hand side, like I say, is perfect. You got plenty of room, so you don't have to worry about if the angle's right or anything like that. And then there's just a little bolt that slips in here and holds the slider on to the heavy bolt. Very simple to put on, no issues with it. And like I say, the way I put it on, these are Rifco highway pegs. You can get some smaller ones. I like these because they're nice and beefy, and they're like anti-vibe or something like that. I've got it on the lowest notch, but I'm going to bring it up one notch. But for me, going almost straight down and out works perfect for my height. I'm 6'2", 32, 33 inseam. If you do go with these Rifco pegs, make sure you tighten this bolt right here, because I've lost a peg once. It went bouncing down the highway because I didn't know you had to tighten that up. So, and they always come loose, so make sure you tighten that bolt up. What I like about these is, if you don't want to use them in the city, you fold them in, they're out of the way, you don't even really notice them there. But having them like that, you can't really kick them out with your foot. You have to reach down and put them out. So what I do is I just leave them up. In the city, if I'm going to be going a long ride and I know I'm going to use them, I just flip them out. But I can just reach down and flip them down. Then with my foot later, I can just kick it back up. So like I said, I think they look really good, and they work super good. And you can see, like I say, the fit and finish on that right there is just really, really nice. But then again, if you're going to go with these sliders, over here on the left, what you're going to have to do is you can put this on loosely and then put your slider on, because this one, the bolt's a little bit shorter. And then what I did was, while it was loose, then I just took the whole unit, I got it in the position I want it, snugged it down, but still able to move it back and forth. And so I just pulled it out to where it touches right up against the slider, because I already put this piece on. So it touches right up against there. And then I took this off, tightened everything down real good, then put my peg on. And again, nice position. But that's the only trick to this one. Like I say, this goes on, you got plenty of room back here, but it's going to be right up against the slider. So what you do is leave this loose, push the peg mount back so you get the slider on, and then you pull this out to where it's touching, get it in the position you want, tighten this stuff down, and you're good to go. Again, you can hide them in there. It looks like it was made for this thing. And then just flip them out and you head on down the road. Those things, super, super handy. If you're doing any type of long distance, man, you can't beat it. Again, those are Rifco, R-I-V-C-C-O pegs. Amazon usually has the best place on them. The sliders are T-Rex. They're out of Texas. And again, the most important part is the Moto Werk's highway peg mounts. And there's other pegs you can get for it, but I've used these before. I like them. They work really good. They're super comfortable. If you're doing any long trips, or if you're like me, you're old and beat up, and you just got to be able to stretch your legs out, those things work fantastic. I even use them when it's in traffic in the city. You know, my hip, sometimes I get a cramp and shit. I pop out those, and it's just a nice cruise. So again, Moto Werks, you can go to their website, motowerk.com. I'll post a link in the description. Good product. Can't go wrong with it. All right, that's it. Bye.